48.
I think the pink's available this time. Yeah, plenty of room there. And hasn't he played well this afternoon?
$54. 55.
Taking on the pink into the middle pocket. If that goes in, Neil Folds requires snookers.
$61.
I think this might be a plant double. Oh, the other red got in the way.
Jimmy White, 61.
So 59 points on the table, but 62 points the difference.
Going back to Neil Folds, what a fantastic week he's had here. He's made both the highest breaks, a break of 140 and also a break of 134. So he's played some fantastic snooker.
$8.
And all is not lost yet. If he can knock the long red in, the one to the right of the pink, and come back for the black.
$9.
Well, you can easily pot the black and the red behind it with another black, and then that red next to the pink's in an ideal position for a snooker.
$16. $17.
And has obviously played to leave himself in position to play
24.
the snooker. Just requires one snooker.
Neil Folds, 24.
Well, it's got the snooker, but not quite as difficult as it might have been.
Neil doesn't really want to pot the red unless he can get the pink or black off it. And that would be some shot.
Well, that has put the outcome beyond any reasonable doubt, I would suggest. So it's Jimmy White who becomes the 1987 Dulux British Open champion.
7.
And how tremendously he's played today.
10. $14.
Jimmy White becomes the champion, winning the match by 13 frames to 9.
And to be the wonderful Romford countryside.
Beautiful.
It's a far cry from Tooting, however.
That's right, yeah. Get Tooting in Barry's back garden.
A lot of Londoners actually hate the countryside and wide open spaces.
I don't know, I can't see how people can hate the countryside, you know. Have something wrong with their head.
Your superstitions, do they extend to things like stepping on cracks in pavements, or if I get to that lamppost by the time the red bus passes me, then I'll win the next match?
Well, it was funny, during the Dulux we had a special parking space, and it was only because every time we arrived it was always full up, and we arrived like 10 minutes before the game, or when we went back to the hotel, there was nowhere to park. So we had a space in the hotel. It was just banging, no other cars could get out. And the same at the venue. We refused to park anywhere else for luck. And we parked there every time, and lucky enough we won.
Do you do certain things before a game?
Yeah, I try and sort of, a few minutes before I go out, I sort of try and, I'm psyching myself up sort of all day, but a couple of minutes before I try and tell myself, you know, don't do silly things and do this and that, and then you go straight out and do it, but then it cancels it out of you. So over the long game, the mistakes become minimum.
When did you first start getting superstitious? Is the family fairly superstitious about them?
No, not at all. I'm just during games and that, and you know, if I go to the races and that, I back funny numbers and you know, just things like that, just silly things like that. You know, I might get my cards read if we go all over wherever we go. I try and get my cards read, you know, things like that. Probably boredom. So there's a lot of truth in it as well.
What is the future for Jimmy White?
Quite good, yeah.
Are you going to tell us?
I'm not allowed to. The gypsy woman says you're not allowed to.
It depends which
and I don't want to
at
book
the
it.
time, isn't it?
I don't want to book it.
It's interesting that you're superstitious though, because I wouldn't have thought you would be really. You don't seem that sort of person. You seem so down to earth and unexcitable about it all, really.
Well, you know, I'm not major sort of superstitious, but like if a black cat come across me or something like that, you know, I think, you know.
Do you believe in lady luck?
Yeah, I do, for sure.
Do you believe in fate?
Sometimes things are fate, you know. I can only judge by snooker, you know, and I'm not talking about life in general, but a few things happen in snooker which have been fate.
Such as?
Dennis Taylor and Steve Davis, Blackpool game, yeah. Lots of things. I lost 9-0 once to Steve Davis, that was fate, you know.
Never to be repeated.
I hope not, yeah. Touch some wood.
But the future's looking good. Is it looking good purely on the snooker front, or?
Yeah, well, everything's going fine for me, really, you know. All my sort of life is just come round right for the World Championships. I hope I can keep it together until April.
And what happens then?
I'll win the World Championships.
What happens after the World Championships?
I just sit back then and just lap it all up.
What, the fame and stardom?
The fame and everything, yes, everything, yes. Be nice to be world champion, wake up every day, shout in the mirror.